Flying high off a rousing run in the BT-5, you hop into the second of the Soviet reserve tanks with a light heart and high expectations. But like celebrating the completion of the latest 5-year plan with a jug of wood alcohol, the party has to end sometime. Here's a low-tier rundown for the Soviet T-26. Right, where to start? The gun, I guess. The old faithful K-20 45mm makes another appearance. Not its last to be sure, and it's still quite good in this vehicle as well. Fairly flat shooting and quite accurate. It's got good penetration and a potent round in the BR-240. Don't bother with the 240 SP, it only has marginally better penetration in exchange for no explosives, so definitely a downgrade. The turret traverse is the same as the BT-5 at 11.6 degrees a second, which is acceptable. Alright, with that out of the way, we can talk about the weaknesses of the T-26. I hope you're settled in. First, the armor is properly garbage. It's 15mm at its thickest, and I mean all over. Front of the hull, side of the turret, front of the turret. It's all 15mm and it's all flat. Secondly, it's slow. Max speed 30 kilometers an hour and not any faster. You can drive it off a cliff and it might do 32. Over land, at full tilt, it'll average closer to 20 kilometers an hour and it loses much of that on the incline. Speaking of inclines, the gun depression is bad at -6 degrees. So if you play on the back of a hill or in a gully, you'll need to expose most of the tank to get a shot off. Best avoid it then. And lastly, it has the standard small tank problem of the crew being all bunched together. It's a rare occasion that only one of them is killed. So high strategy for the T-26 then. Here's how you play it. When the game starts, try and figure out where most of your team is going to spawn, and then follow them. Don't be worried about making it to the site first, it's not going to happen. As the enemy team is likely going to the same spot, a fight will develop, probably while you're still rolling up. That's fine, it's actually what you want. Basically, from this point on, you want to hang back and support your teammates who are pushing the front as much as possible, without being targeted yourself. Move from cover to cover, and don't be the first one around the corner or over the hill. Not the most valorous conduct, to be sure, but if you can keep up fire on enemies who are shooting at other people, you may actually accumulate a few kills. Other than this, the T-26 can use its accurate cannon as a discount sharpshooter, but you'll need a really good spot where only the turret is showing and the gun isn't bottomed out. While it's highly unlikely that most T-26s will give you a whole lot of trouble, they certainly should not be discounted completely. Mixed in amongst a group, they can still 1 or 2 tap many vehicles, and they can also pick you off at a distance if need be. Fire at whatever part is flattest in the front half of the vehicle, where the crew is crammed. If working at a distance or up close, the turret has no mantlet, so it's as thin as any other part of the vehicle. You'll go right through on a flat hit. A last tip. Most inexperienced players will take a full ammunition load, so if you hit the tank side on, near the bottom of the hull between the track bogies, you'll almost certainly detonate one and then all 160 rounds of ammunition on the floor of the vehicle. In a way, the fact that T-26 is so bad makes a lot of sense. The BT-5 needs a ball and chain to keep the Russian tech tree from being completely dominant when starting out. Its low-tier rundown rating is a C. Not the worst, but pretty close. By pretty close, I mean we'll be moving on to the French. Join us next time for a look at the AMD-35 and H-39.